Hey guys, it's Jacob for Starfighters Arcade. I'm actually at the arcade right now as I'm working a party. We're pretty booked throughout the weekend, but when my shift is done, I'll be heading to the Mesa Convention Center where Zapcon 9 is getting underway. After a 1-year absence, it has returned, and I'll be taking a look around like I always do. So just like old times, prepare to be zapped. First place we have to stop at, like usual, is at our own booth. We had a presence this year complete with merchandise, a video presentation, and a kids tournament that we'll have to check back on in a little while. We also brought a select few pinball machines for all to enjoy, so if you saw a few openings in our pinball selection that weekend, now you understand why. I, for one, am looking forward to looking around and finding what arcade games are on the con floor this year. There's plenty that I recognize from our own floor, like this ice-cold beer here, but there are plenty of others that have yet to appear at Starfighters Arcade, like Pengo, Bosconian, and Kicks, upon many, many others. Of course, when you have arcade machines at Zapcon, you're also going to have a plethora of pinball machines to accompany them. There was quite a bunch to choose from, including these very vintage machines with their unique gimmicks of roulette-like wheels to garner extra points, not to mention unique themes, but we also had the latest and greatest releases to play from the likes of Stern with Jaws, Flippin' Out's Labyrinth Table, and a couple brand new machines from American Pinball. Barrio's Barbecue Challenge was actually announced the first day of Zapcon, so us lucky some were the first to try it out publicly anywhere. One of the better things to do when walking about the floor is finding those rare games you will not find commonly like at our arcade. One of the highlights would be this Orbiter 1 pin, the only pinball with a transparent contoured playfield to make it truly one of a kind. Some of the rarer machines were actually close to our booth. Next to us was Kubert's Cubes, the little known but still fun sequel. There was one that you could not miss, and that was Computer Space, as it was not only the first commercial video arcade ever made, but it was one of the first games you saw when you walked through the convention doors. Right next to it was QB3, a prototype vector that never saw release, which is a shame because it was a very fun twin-stick shooter in my opinion. I think we had some of the best rarities next to us, including my personal favorite, Boxing Bugs. I may be in the minority, but I thoroughly enjoy this odd vector game, and I was happy a character from the game got on the badges for this year. Definitely one I will treasure out of all the others I've acquired in the past. Might as well talk about some of my other favorite games that I was able to play at the con. One I was most excited to play was Tunnel Hunt. Best way to describe it is like the Death Star Trench on acid, but simplistically awesome. TACScan is an extremely underrated vector that I recommend everyone trying when given the opportunity, and Zookeeper proved to be just as fun as I remember, especially when going against a friend who's just as good but not better than you. Also got to play some pinball faves. I always enjoy pins that are themed around billiards or gambling, so Pool Sharks is a new favorite of mine. Even found a couple other favorites right next to each other. There's always good games around if you know where to look. On occasion, you may come across a game that you might consider odd or completely different from the selection available to you. Take, for example, the Star Wars Battle Pod. It and the accompanying Mock Storm are becoming regulars to Zapcon, much like the custom machines that are owned by the organizers. Among them being the infamous Polybius. The myth comes to life only at Zapcon, though it used to reside at Starfighters a long time ago. One unique oddity that caught our attention was this Japanese table throwing game. All you do is literally flip a table over and watch the chaos ensue. A concept only our friends in Japan would keep to themselves. If you come to Zapcon long enough, you'll know you can find a select few pins purposely made to be odd. These pins over here have unique control layouts to make them unlike any pin you played before. Also have a high score competition going on for each machine, so you can try to be number one at your own niche game. While on the subject of competitions, might as well showcase some of the many tournaments happening around Zapcon. Obviously, pinball tournaments are plentiful. The main one, I believe, continued even after the con's conclusion. We hosted our very own kids tournament, as I mentioned earlier, our second one of the month, and the competition was fierce. Hope all that participated had a good time and enjoyed the prizes they were able to take home. Some of the Starfighter staff came away with some prizes. Kathy won first place in the women's pinball tournament, and I happened to find 2 tournaments taking place in the console lounge that I wanted to participate in. I threw my hat in the Duck Hunt and Atari Combat tournaments, winning first in both and earning a t-shirt and store credit to Game Smash in Avondale. Since we're here already, let's see what the console lounge is looking like this year. Reminds me of past years as the lounge is back to this area, but that doesn't mean it isn't just as good as the cocktail cabinets fit right in next to the many consoles ranging from the Atari 2600 to the PS2. Lots of classics to choose from if you wanted to take a break from all the action on the floor. Even had a DJ playing from time to time too. Obviously, we're not the only ones trying to sell some merchandise, as there's several vendors around the sides of the convention selling all sorts of things, including games and other goods. Our buddy Moto always brings his wide array of Sanetch products for us to witness and potentially purchase. Hope he made some good sales. And don't forget to grab some grub outside if you need a quick bite to eat. You know, with all these retro games inside the convention center, I still find myself gravitating towards the very vintage machines that are scattered about. There's a group of Bronze Age machines which I continually came back to, as while those machines are old, they're still positively fun. But of course, nothing here tops the greatness that is the Williams 1957 pitch and bat game. Everyone I know always enjoys this machine, and this year was made even sweeter as there was not only one, but 2 Williams pitch and bats. First time we saw this 1959 pitch hitter machine, and the changes in 2 years were minimal, but still made things more challenging, especially if you faced off against someone else in 2-player. The real reward of playing these machines is hitting those home runs and watching them electromechanical men run. No Zapcon would be complete without having some good friends with you to share in the experience. We got Jody, we got Dave, we got staff members having the time of their lives. Good friends got to spend the weekend playing games with family or buddies and making great memories along the way. These are the kind of things that make Zapcon the arcade con to be at. Just before I could get another game of frogs in, the lights came on, which means Zapcon 9 has come to an end. I'd say the wait was well worth it, but I wasn't ready for it to conclude so soon. Always hate to see it go. But overall, it's safe to say Zapcon is back and better than ever before, and you can bet we're looking forward to when it rolls back around next year. On behalf of the Starfighter staff, I'm Jacob Ross. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you at Zapcon 10.